Most of the day was fairly quiet, but we are starting to see that rain picking up across the region. Quick check of our camera in Poplar Bluff. Most of that activity thus far has been off into southeastern Missouri. You can see some of those raindrops showing up on that camera lens, but scattered activity now making its way into parts of southern Illinois and then extending into western Kentucky as well. Zooming in a little bit closer, you can see that extending all the way from Perry County in southeastern Missouri and then down and moving out of Mississippi County and making its way into western Kentucky. So near Bardwell and Clinton is where we have our strongest storm right now. Some lightning, some very heavy rainfall and gusty winds. No severe threat on that storm as of right now. Just something to keep a close eye on. It'll continue to work its way to the east, eventually likely grazing the Mayfield area and moving through Benton. Benton seeing some steady rainfall as well, and that's going to continue to work its way east and away from the area. So tonight, the heavy rain is only going to be picking up through the overnight hours. We're talking about the potential for some localized flooding and then, of course, some strong storms as well by the time we get into Friday morning, followed by very windy conditions. So it's a little bit of everything. Make sure you've got multiple ways to get alerts because it is going to be active in one way or another. Now, after we get through Friday, we start to quiet down just in time for the weekend. Until then, we've got a lot to talk about. So this is sort of round one making its way through the region right now with the scattered showers across our area. But what's bringing us all of this activity is this area of low pressure that is still well off to our south, back across parts of Texas and Oklahoma. It's going to work its way to the north and east and directly over our area, bringing widespread rain and the chance for strong storms again by early tomorrow. So we're going to play this out slowly for you. I have quite a few stops in this today to give you an idea of what to expect. Scattered activity through much of the evening. Widespread rain starts to make its way in by 10, 11 o'clock tonight. And then it only starts to get heavier by midnight to the 2 a.m. hour. Look at all the reds and some of the pinks showing up across the region. So likely going to be waking you up with the heavy rain and some thunder. That continues to stick around into Friday morning. This is 6 a.m. Friday morning. So depending on what time you get out to work, we've already seen very heavy rain through the night, still seeing it in the morning. Allow yourself plenty of time as you're heading out the door. You're likely going to run into some localized flooding. If you know areas in your community that flood, just plan on taking that alternate route already. Heavy rain will continue to stick around throughout the morning hours, but by the time we move from about 6 o'clock to noon, there will be a chance for some strong thunderstorms. Some of these could be severe. We can't rule out damaging wind gusts and some brief spin up tornadoes as this area of low pressure moves over our area. So by the time we get to about noon, we should see that severe threat coming to an end. It'll start to work its way to the north and east. Until then, it is very active. So a few scattered showers will linger into the afternoon on Friday. However, much lighter, and then all of the activity is out of here by Friday evening. We are tracking a lot of heavy rain. Widespread 2 to 3 inches is likely. And then I think there are going to be pockets that are closer to 4 to 5 inches of rain. And that's a lot of rain to get in a very short period of time. So don't try to drive through any pooling water. Remember to turn around and find that alternate route. Storm Track 3 app will be great to have on your smartphone because it's not just the rain that we're worried about. We have the chance for the storms, and then some wind is actually really going to be picking up. So tomorrow we wake up in the 50s. Behind the front, temperatures drop throughout the entire day, and then we're talking about gusty winds. We actually have a wind advisory in place and a high wind warning for some of our far southern counties. We're talking about wind gusts between 45 and 50 miles per hour, maybe even higher for some of our southern counties. So when you have a very saturated ground and that wind comes through and blows on the trees, we could see some of those trees uprooted down on power lines. So power outages also going to be a concern. A lot to take into account tomorrow for sure. At least we quiet down by the weekend. By the weekend, that sunshine will come back on Saturday and then partly cloudy skies around on Sunday, and then temperatures will also start to warm back up. So there's a light at the end of the tunnel. We just have to get through tomorrow.
I think we can do